When things go wrong, it's human nature to play the blame game. Steinheist's case is no different. Questions have been asked about how billionaire Christo Wiese and the entire Steinheist board did not know what was going on.
These are the kind of people who we, as the public, believe know what they're doing when they're managing our money. It's not only Christo Wiese and the board and the auditors, it's analysts, investors, asset managers, the PIC, who was the second biggest shareholder in Steiner for a number of years.
So the government employee pension fund is a defined benefit model. Under a defined benefit scheme, the biggest risk that you face is that at the point in time when your employees have to retire, the money that's available may not be sufficient to meet the commitments that you've made. Then obviously somebody has to step in and top up whatever that deficit might be. And in this case, it happens to be the South African taxpayer.
If you think about widows and orphans and security guards, and I'm ex-security guard, and actually those people, they've got no means, even if it was 5,000 rand, they've got no means of recovering that 5,000 rand. It may be tiny amounts in absolute terms, but relative to what those people own, it's significant. There is a bit of an emotional connection to me that I know how it feels, and I know how difficult it is for them every day to try and make their day work. There were defenseless people who are sweeping the streets, work for municipality, and now they're caught up in the Steiner thing. And it was particularly for that reason that I stood up and I said, I'm going to the police, and I must give the police the evidence that I have been, together with the team, we have been saying there is something wrong here. So I felt that by going to the police, it would actually give us some retribution for the investors, but for South Africa.
On the first day that I was asked to take this position, I asked for a picture of the person who lost the most, the biggest loser. We couldn't find a picture, but that is the picture that I keep in my mind. And as long as there is hope that we can get to some return for that individual, those sets of individuals, we will not stop trying.
People and households lost money. My own father lost money, a significant amount of money. And so it was very clear that there were going to be significant consequences.
We had the unfortunate position that Mr. Jooste wasn't around at the time because he resigned.
Did Marcus Jooste, in your view, ever lie to you, mislead you, or do you think use you?
I do believe that there was a limited sharing of information from Mr. Jooste to myself. You must bear in mind that, at least in my view, this practice commenced a number of years ago. So therefore, if you grow that false profit every year, no person, no auditor, no analyst will certainly, just by looking at the numbers, tell you, but here's something that changes suddenly this year, here's false income. Because it started so long ago, and just every year it gets increased a little bit. From my side, I'm also deeply saddened with the events that happened at Steinhoff and all the money that was lost. Like the majority of people involved in trying to save this business. From my side, I also do not think I did anything deliberately wrong.
Ben Lachranji, Steinhoff's former CFO, was left on the lurch when Jooste Cotton disappeared.
And also how to fix it.
He was left to flounder in Parliament to face a series of questions to which he just didn't have answers.
Because many of these accounting firms not only aided and abetted state capture, but aided and abetted Marcus Jooste to create this fiction of a multi-billion-dollar company, which clearly was found on sand.
You can't get a one-sided corruption. There's got to be two sides. The money's got to flow. And it's got to come from somewhere. And it's got to go somewhere. So trust in our institutions starts eroding.